जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री राधा गिरिधर भगवान की Let's begin with the prayer of invocation, Mangalacharya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapad Kamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। As we all know, today we are celebrating Govardhan Puja in the temple, even though the actual day was probably Tuesday or Monday, according to the place you're thinking. In Auckland, it was, I think, Tuesday, and in India, it was in Monday. And since we are celebrating today, let us offer prayer to Sri Govardhan. If you like, you can repeat after me. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhan Namine Ashesh Kalesh Nashaya Paramanand Daine. In this prayer, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami offers prayer to Shri Govardhan and is praying that I offer my humble obeisances to King of the Hills. Namaste Giri Rajaya. Raja means king, king of the hills. And Shri Govardhan Namine, whose name is Shri Govardhan. By offering our respectful obeisances, what happens? Ashesh Kalesh Nashaya. The unlimited sins which we have acquired in millions of our previous lives, they get destroyed by just offering prayer to Shri Govardhan. And then the second effect is Paramanandayine. We get supreme bliss. So now I will read, as per our practice, some part from Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'll start from where it was left yesterday. It is chapter, the name of chapter, it will not be possible to assist you. It's a situation where Srila Prabhupada has already reached New York and he is exploring the possibilities of expanding Krishna consciousness. December 2, New York Times headlines, New York City hospitals reports marked rise in LSD cases admitted in or care. Protest against US participation in Vietnam War mounts. The weather grew cold, but there was no snow in December. On Columbus Avenue, shops were selling Christmas trees, and the continental restaurants were bright with holiday lighting. On 72nd, the Retailers Association erected tall red poles topped with green tinsel Christmas trees. The top of the tree on both sides of the street sprouted tinsel garlands that spanned the street and joined in red tinsel stars surrounded by colored lights. Although Srila Prabhupada did no Christmas shopping, he visited many bookstores, Orientalia, Sam Weezer's, Doubleday, the Paragon, and others, trying to sell his Srimad Bhagavatam. Mrs. Ferber, the wife of the Paragon Book Gallery proprietor, considered Prabhupada a pleasant and extremely polite small gentleman. The first time he called She was not interested in his books, but he tried again, and she took several volumes. Prabhupada used to stop by about once a week, and since his books were selling regularly, he would collect. Sometimes, when he needed copies to sell personally, he would come by and pick them up from Mrs. Ferber. And sometimes he would phone to ask her how his books were selling. Mrs. Ferber, she's quoting. Every time he came, he would ask for a glass of water. If a customer would make such a request, I would ordinarily say, "There is a water cooler." But because he was an old man, I could not tell him that, of course. He was very polite always, very modest, and a great scholar. So whenever he would ask, I would fetch him a cup of water personally. Once Srila Prabhupada was talking with Mrs. Ferber about Indian cuisine, and she mentioned that she especially liked samosas. The next time he paid her a visit, he brought a tray of samosas, which she enjoyed. I'll stop it here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Today we'll take up verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Before that, let's glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृणोतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना नित्यं स्तोयभद्राणि विद्नोति स्वेत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवद्गीताश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टि यत्कीर्तनं यत्क्षणं यदीक्षणं यद्वन्दनं यत्स्मरणं यदर्पणं लोकस्य सद्यो विदनोति कल्मषं तस्मै श्रीभद्रेशासे नमो नमः निम्नगानां यथा गंगा देवानामच्युतो यथा वैष्णवानां यथा शम्भुः पुराणानामिदं तथा सर्वशास्त्रादिपीयूषा सर्वैदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाद्या सर्वलौकिकदिक्पथा सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद् भागवत प्रभु हरिध्वान्तोदितादित्या श्री कृष्ण परवर्ती परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमश्याय अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्री कृष्णाय नमस्ते मदेक बंधु मत संगिन मत गुरु मन महावर मन निस्तारक भाग्य मत आनंद मस्तुते असाधु साधु तादाय अति नीचो ताकर आना मुंचा कथा चिन्मयम प्रेम हृद कंठ्यास्प्रो प्रेमणा हृद कंठ्यास्प्रो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Verses from Canto 4, chapter number 24, titled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. Idam viviktim japtavyam. Idam viviktim japtavyam. Pavitram mangalam param. Niyasya karam chapi. Shuyatam tadvadami vaha. Idam viviktim japtavyam. Pavitram mangalam param. Nishakaram chapi Shuyatam tadvadami vaha. Idam viviktim japtavyam Pavitram mangalam param Nishakaram chapi Shuyatam tadvadami vaha. Idam viviktim japtavyam पवित्रं मङ्गलं परं निःशसाकरं चापि श्रूयतां तद्वदामि वा इदं विविक्तं जप्तव्यं पवित्रं मङ्गलं परं श्रूयतां तद्वदामि वा इदं विविक्तं जप्तव्यं पवित्रं मङ्गलं परं येषसकरं चापि श्रूयतां तद्वदामि वा Okay, we go to translation, word translation, translation and purport. Word translation, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Idam, this, viviktam, very particular. Japtavyam, always to be chanted. Pavitram, very pure. Mangalam, auspicious. Param, transcendental. Precious, karam, very beneficial. Cha also, api, certainly. Shruyatam, please hear that vadami, I am speaking va unto you. Translation. Now I shall chant one mantra which is only transcendental, pure and auspicious, but it is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively. About the word Viktam is very significant. No one should think of the prayers recited by Lord Shiva as being sectarian. Rather, they are very confidential. So much so that anyone desiring the ultimate prosperity or auspicious goal of life must take the instructions of Lord Shiva and pray to and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Shiva himself is. Small and sweet. Mukham karoti vachalam pangulangayate giram yatkipatam aham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam. Before we go on the details of purport, first let's have some understanding about the background in which this verse is spoken. This verse is spoken by Lord Shiva. And when Prithu Maharaj left for Golok Vrindavan, he handed over his, before leaving, he handed over his kingdom to his eldest son, whose name was Vijita Shah, also known as Antardhan. He is the one who had chased Lord Indra when he came to steal the 100th horse in the horse sacrifice, 100th horse sacrifice. Vijit Shava or Antardhan was also a devotee of the Lord, and he did not show much interest in running the affairs of the kingdom. He handed over that kingdom to his eldest son, whose name was Havirdhan. Havirdhan also ruled for some time, and he also passed on the kingdom to his eldest son, who is known as Barishat, also known as Prachina Bharati, Barihi, Prachina Barihi. Barishat produced 10 sons who are known as Prachetas. Prachetas, when they grew up, Maharaj Barishat instructed them to get married and produce children. But since they were very advanced in spiritual knowledge, they decided not to do so. They decided to perform severe austerities and penances. And for that reason, they decided to go to the ocean. On way to ocean, they met Lord Shiva, who liked them very much because they were intending to do devotional service at the pleasure of Supreme Lord. So Lord Shiva, to demonstrate or to give his mercies to them, he spoke this verse to Prachetas. What is the meaning of Prachetas? Who have pra means Prakrisht, Chetsa means consciousness, who had very strong consciousness, very highly advanced consciousness. That's why they are known as Prachetas. In the translation, Srila Prabhupada has kindly translated the last sentence saying that when I chant this mantra, please hear it attentively. So today we are going to talk about hearing, the importance of hearing in devotional life. But before we go there, before we touch that subject a little deeply, let's first hear what Acharya has to say. Acharya Srila Prabhupada, in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita on hearing, he writes, and I'm going to quote, this is in relation to the famous verse by Prahlad Maharaj, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padse. Srila Prabhupada writes, these 9 processes, of which the easiest is Shravanam, hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the realized person, will turn one to the thought of Supreme Being. This will lead to remembering the Supreme Lord and will enable one upon leaving the body to attain the spiritual body, which is just fit for association with the Supreme Lord. So the hearing, the starting point is hearing, and the end is with association with Supreme Lord. So hearing is the kind of first step which leads one to go to see the Lord Krishna. I checked Bhagavad Gita. The equivalent word of hearing is Shrunu. Lord Krishna used 7 times, at least I could locate, maybe more, in which he used the word Shunu. See, in 7 verses. And I'm going to quickly recite those verses with a little bit meaning, and then we will further expand on this part hearing. This first verse is from chapter 2, verse number 39. Esha te vihita sanghe buddhiryoge tam inam shunu buddhyo yaja partha karam bandham prahasasi. Krishna says to Arjuna that by hearing on devotional service, buddhi yoga, your karam bandhan will be destroyed. Your cycle of fruitive actions will be destroyed. Second verse is from chapter 7, verse number 1. Maya satmana partha yunyam yogam madashraya samsham samagram mam yata gyasi tachuru. Be attached to me, Krishna is instructing in this verse to Arjuna. And by doing so, you will surely come to me. I'm going very briefly on these verses. And third verse is from chapter 10, verse number 1. Uye mahabhao shunu me paramam vacha shunu me paramam vacha yatte ham priyamanaya vakshyami hitkamya. I'm going to give you transcendental knowledge, going by which I'm telling you because you are my dear friend. And then next verse is from chapter 16. Chapter 16 deals with mainly with the characteristics of demons. It is my favorite chapter. I try to find out where I stand. In the fourth verse, Krishna says, Dvabhuskargo lokesmin dev asurevcha devo vistarsha prota asurim me shrunu. Krishna says that I have already explained to you about the divine nature, people who are born with divine nature. Now I'm going to explain in rest of the maybe 17 verses. I'm going to explain the nature of demonic people, and it's a very interesting chapter. And next is chapter 4, 70. This deals with the 3 modes of material nature. Devida bhakti shraddha dehi nam sa svabhavaja satvati rajsi chaiva namsi cheti tachunu shunu. Here, again and again, Krishna is saying here. And in this verse, Krishna is saying that I'm going to explain about the three modes of material nature. And the next is the sixth verse is from 18th chapter. Nishtyam shunu me tatra tyage bharat saptama tyago hi purush vyagra devdasam akirtita. In this verse, Krishna is going to explain on the importance of renunciation. Last verse, which everybody knows probably. Sarvguitam ambhuya shrum again. Sarvguitam ambhuya shrum me paramam vacha. Ishtobasi me dridhamati tato vakshami te hitam. This is a verse before the famous verse of Manmanaman Bhagavato and Sarvdharman Paritajya. And in this verse, Krishna is saying, I'm going to give you knowledge about the most confidential knowledge. Sarvguitamam bhuya shrum me paramam vacha. So when we heard shunu in 7 times in these verses, so we can understand the importance of hearing. But someone may say that since Bhagavad Gita is a book of dialogue, so what is the big deal about using Krishna word shun? It is quite normal when two people talk and sometimes they say to each other, please hear or please listen. So if in this case Krishna is saying, so what is the big deal? Yes, there is no big deal, but at the same time, there is a big deal. Krishna is wonderful, Krishna's activities are wonderful. Gajendra says Krishna's activities are very wonderful. In his prayer, he says, Tasmai nama pareshaya brahmane nanta shakte arupayor rupaya namaschar karmane namaschar karmane. In the last part, he says, I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, whose activities are wonderful. And first he says, Tasmai Nama Pareshaya. I offer my obeisances to that Supreme Lord who is Pareshaya. The Par means transcendental, above this material nature. Paresh I, Isha is controller, is transcendental controller. Brahmana Nant Shakti. He is Supreme Brahman and he possesses unlimited potencies, unlimited powers. And then he finally says, Nama Aschach Karmane. He is wonderful. Now, what is wonderful about Krishna? I was saying that what is the big deal if Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Shun? Krishna Krishna has different ways of giving knowledge. To Brahmaji, he gave that knowledge by just imparting in his heart without speaking a word. First verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tene Brahm Hridayadi Kave Yuyanti Yat Surya Tejo Vari Vidham Yatha Vinime Yatri Sarvam Misha Dhamna Swain Sada Niris Hukum Satyam Brahm Dhimai. Krishna is wonderful. If he wants to give knowledge, he can speak. We chant every day in the morning, Angani Yas Saklendriya Vritti Manti. Krishna's all limbs of his body can do anything. It's not that he has to speak and the person will get the knowledge. He can give knowledge by just giving a glance. He can give knowledge by just touching someone, as Lord Vishnu did in the case of Dhruv Maharaj. He just touched his conch shell on the forehead of Dhruv Maharaj, and Dhruv Maharaj got enlightened. So therefore, in a way, Krishna could have done that in the battlefield of Mahabharata. He could have given knowledge to Arjuna by touching his conch shell. He was also carrying that conch shell in the battlefield. Panchanya में ऋषि केशव देवदत्तम धनंजय Ondram Dhadvu Mahashankam Bhim Karma Vakodara. He was carrying. The name of the conch shell is also given, Panchanya. But he didn't do so. He spoke. Maybe it took 1.5 hours to speak the entire Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna did speak. He not only spoke, but he also put Arjuna into illusion. And therefore, Arjuna declined to fight. Otherwise, how is it to be believed that a person who is, or a devotee who is closest of Krishna can remain in ignorance? Purposely, Krishna put him into ignorance or put into in some kind of illusion, and he declined to fight. And therefore, Krishna gave this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And this Bhagavad Gita gives us knowledge now. If I cannot imagine that how life would have been without Bhagavad Gita, without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. This is basic formative knowledge for all of us. So Krishna had to give knowledge to all of us. And for that, he put Arjuna into illusion. But Arjuna was very intelligent otherwise. If we recall what he did while dealing with Ashwatthama, then we can clearly understand that Arjuna was always in knowledge of the devotional service. Even when Krishna gave contradictory instruction in the case of Ashwatthama, Arjuna was quick to understand and execute also that instruction which was given to him. Let's recall quickly the incidents of Ashwatthama. In the Mahabharata battle, when majorities of the Kauravas commanders were killed by the side of Pandavas, to please his master and king Duryodhana, Ashwatthama, who was son of Dronacharya was the spiritual master of both sides. To please him, he decided to do something very terrible. He, in the middle of night, he chopped off heads of 5 infant sons of Draupadi. He thought that by killing or by murdering those infant children, he would be able to stop the growth of Pandava's dynasty. He thought Duryodhana will be pleased, but Duryodhana did not like this heinous act. On the contrary, he criticized him. When Draupadi, whose sons were killed, she got up in the morning and she saw in the military camp her 5 sons have been killed. She was crying bitterly. And at that time, Arjuna became very angry. Arjuna promised to Draupadi that I will bring the head of that aggressor who has killed your sons. And after the ceremonial cremation, you will put your foot on the head of that aggressor and then you will take the shower. And then he started chasing Ashwatthama. And finally, after a lot of firework of large scale, he caught hold of him and he bound him like an animal with the ropes. And he did not kill him. Lord Krishna was also present at that time. Lord Krishna provoked him to test his knowledge of the religious principles. Lord Krishna said, why don't you kill him? Now since you have got hold of him and you have bound him, instead of taking him anywhere, just kill him. Arjuna didn't kill him. Arjuna brought him in the military camp where Maharaja Yudhishthir and his other brothers were standing, and Draupadi was also there. When he brought Ashwatthama in the condition of like an animal, bound with ropes, handcuffed, Draupadi, whose 5 sons were killed, what she did? She offered obeisances first to Ashwatthama. And just remember, her 5 sons have been killed. She is in extreme distress, the grief of losing son. And she knows that he is the one who has killed, but still she is offering obeisances. And she scolded mildly to Arjuna, release him immediately. He is representative of our Guru, Dronacharya. Since Dronacharya has passed away, he is representing our Guru. He is no less than our Guru. So you must immediately release him. Hearing this, Yudhishthira Maharaj, the eldest son, and king to be made, he also endorsed Draupadi's opinion. He said, no, he should not be killed. Draupadi at that time also said that, Arjuna, whatever you are, whatever military sciences you know, it is because of your Guru, Dronacharya. So you cannot kill the son of Dronacharya. And Maharaja Yudhishthira also endorsed the opinion or the stance taken by Draupadi. But Bhimsen, he did not agree. He said he should be killed immediately. And the remaining two brothers, Nakul and Sahadev, they also endorsed the opinion of Draupadi and Yudhishthira Maharaj. So the situation was like three brothers was on the one side, rather four brothers. Arjuna also didn't want to kill him, and Bhimsen wanted to kill him. So in that complex situation, Arjuna looked at Krishna. Krishna gave him contradictory instructions. What Krishna said? Uh, Brahmbandurna hantavya, adatai vadharana. The friend of the Brahmana should not be killed. Brahmbandurna hantavya, adatai vadharana. But an aggressor should be killed. Now, Ashwatthama is both. He is Brahmbandhu and he is also Atatai, aggressor. And then Krishna says that Mayevo Bhayam Amanantam Parih Pahya Anushasanam. Kuru Pratishrutam Satyam, Kuru Pratishrutam Satyam Yat Tat Santvatya Priyam Cha Bhim Senasya Panchalya Mahyamayev Cha. Krishna is instructing Arjuna that now you do what may satisfy Draupadi and what may also satisfy Bhimsen. And then finally he says it should also satisfy me. So Arjuna had to deal with a complex situation. He was instructed to kill an aggressor, but at the same time not to kill a Brahmbandhu, a friend of the Brahman. So Arjuna, in a split of moment, he took his sword, cut the hairs of the Ashwatthama, and took away his jewel, which was considered to be killing and not killing. In Vedic culture, there are some ways which are the options are given. For instance, if someone wants to commit suicide, I should not say so in the morning of Govardhan Puja, but if someone wants to commit suicide, he should start he should start appreciating himself in self-appreciation. This is considered equivalent to suicide. It's called shlesh. I'm trying to recall the exact Sanskrit word. Salagya. Salagya. If someone wants to commit suicide, he should self-appreciate. So in other words, look at the harm of self-appreciating. One should not at any time engage in indulge in some kind of self-appreciation. I know I'm the best cook, I'm the best kirtaniya, I'm the best speaker. These are the things which are considered as suicidal acts in Vedic culture. So coming back to the point, I was saying that Krishna, why was it not wonderful? Krishna had to speak Bhagavad Gita. He spoke Bhagavad Gita, but he could have also done it through other means, which he did not. But Arjuna was able to, even though at the time of speaking Bhagavad Gita, he was in illusion, but otherwise he was very intelligent. He could execute the instructions of Krishna immediately without any doubt. But from this incident, there are a couple of very good lessons for all of us. One is that even in the midst of extreme personal distress, the position of Guru stands priority. Draupadi, Draupadi and all other except Bhimsen, they were trying to establish or they were trying to observe the religious principle that the Guru's position is very exalted. Even when one is in extreme distress, we should not forget what Guru has done for us. And secondly, again, the extremely exalted position of Guru Maharaj. I was listening to a lecture other day, Bhagavatam, and a question was raised that if we have disagreement with the Guru, I was listening on online and I immediately cut my connection. I could not fathom with the idea of disagreement with the Guru. I thought the relationship between Guru is just like a computer and an operator, where operator gives command to computer and computer has to follow only. So as a disciple, whatever instructions are given by the Guru, there's only one way, let's follow. No room for no scope of any disagreement. So I realized that through this incident of Ashwatthama, the extremely exalted position of Guru, there cannot be any disagreement. And then we were talking about the ways Krishna can impart knowledge. For people of our age, he sent his own representative, Srila Prabhupada. And because of Srila Prabhupada, we are all sitting here. We get knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita or other scriptures through Srila Prabhupada. Narad Bhakti Sutra 44 confirms that it says that Tasmin Tad Jana Bheda Abhavat, between Krishna and his janas, his devotees, Bheda Abhavat, difference does not exist. So Krishna's pure devotees are as powerful as Krishna himself is. So if we can, and this can be seen in our time. We have now hundreds of temples and hundreds of devotees doing various kind of spiritual activities. Now, we started with the subject of hearing. Srila Sutta Goswami in first canto explains the importance of hearing. Yasya, what is that? Yasya vai shriya manayam Krishne param purushe bhaktir utpatate pumsa shok mo bhayapaha. By hearing only, by hearing whom? Shri Krishna. Krishna param purushe. Krishna who is param purush, who is transcendental personality, Supreme Lord. By just hearing, bhaktir utpatate pumsa. Bhakti is generated by just hearing. Devotional service is generated among pumsa, men and women. And then as a result of that, three things happen. Shok, moh, bhayapaha. Lamentation, shok, moh, illusion, bhaya, fear. They are destroyed immediately if we hear. Why does it happen? How it is happening? By hearing, when we start hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna sitting in our heart, Sarvasya Chaham Hridaya Sanna Vishnu, he is sitting in our heart. He purifies us. When he purifies us, the dormant love of the Supreme Lord is awakened among us. When that happens, we get fixed in devotional service. When we get fixed in devotional service, the effect of mode of ignorance and mode of passion, that starts getting decreased. Once that starts getting decreased, the bad habits of greed and lust, they start going away. Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajogun Samudbhava. They are born out of mode of passion, the lust and greed. Once they go away, we are established in mode of goodness. Once we are established in mode of goodness, then we are marching on the path of devotional service, as confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि नाम भवेत गैवनीयम सेवनो मुखे जीवावतो स्वयं एव सुकृतदा. Sevno mukhe. By doing service in devotional service, we get unmukha. Unmukha means we start marching towards devotional service, towards our supreme destination. So the important point is hearing. Lastly, why it is so important to hear about Krishna? Because Sut Goswami said that Krishna Param Purusha. Since this is a very auspicious month, Kartik month, so I am tempted to recite a couple of verses from Gopi, and then I'll explain why it is important to hear Krishna Katha. प्रणत देहिनां पापकर्षणं ऋणचिरानुगं श्रीनिकेतनं फणिफणार्पितं ते पदाम्बुजां रेणुकुजेषुनः रिन्दिरेच्छयम् अटति यद्भवान् अहनिकाननं त्रुटिर्युगायते तापश्यताम् कुटिलकुन्तलं श्रीमुखं च ते जडमुदीक्ष्यमान् कक्षं क्रेदिशाम् तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं धर्मशापम् श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिता जनः. They are very beautiful. I picked up deliberately from not in a very orderly way, because then there will be temptation to sing all of them. That's so beautiful. So in the last verse, in the first Pranat Dehinam Apakashanam, gopis are remembering how Krishna dealt with the serpent Kalia, and they are glorifying Kalia. That he was so fortunate that he could get the footprint of lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. In the second verse, Atati Yad Bhavan Ahani Karanam, they are abusing Brahmaji because he has given eyelids which are coming as a pocket in their seeing Krishna. In the third verse, they are laying the importance of hearing Krishna Katha. Hav Katha Amritam Tapta Jivana. Your topics about you, Krishna, are nectarian. And on the other hand, our life is full of miseries. Tapta Jivana. Kavi Vireditam Kalmashapana. As the learned people, Munigan, Manishans, they say that by hearing your Katha Krishna, gopis are addressing to Krishna, the life's impurities go away, kalmashapaham. And then Shravana Mangalam Shri Batatu. they are, by hearing, they call auspiciousness. Mangalam. What is Mangalam is very important word here. Mangalam means like when we start Krishna Katha or we start speaking on Bhagavatam, we do a prayer of invocation, auspicious prayer, Mangalacharan. Why do we do Mangalacharan? Because we have undertaken a yagna of speaking on Bhagavatam. We pray to Guru Jans, Vaishnavas, and Supreme Lord that this yagna may be completed successfully without any hindrance. So this Mangalam word in this context is that we have come into this material world. Now, by the grace of our spiritual master, we are on the spiritual path. We are walking on the devotional path. We should complete our path and we should eventually go back to the Godhead. So that is Mangalam. Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam. And the Bhurida, the people who are distributing the holy name in any form, be it in form of books, be it in form of prasadam, be it just by speaking, they are the most munificent people, most merciful people. So these are the benefits of hearing Krishna Katha. So I think I will give pause here. If someone wants to add anything, please feel free. Hare Krishna. Any comment or any reaction? Yes, Prabhuji. Mhm. Um, your comment or question is that even if we give 2 hours of hearing, it is not possible to absorb everything we hear. Maybe we can absorb half an hour or so. And how about how to maximize our hearing or absorption? Is that what you're saying? I think devotional service is all about practice. So whether we are chanting, whether we are hearing, we are engaging ourselves in the practice. And as we practice, the uh, tendency to sharpen that skill we are trying to acquire, that goes gradually up. So keep hearing with faith. Srila Rupa Goswami says that in the beginning, very little faith is required. And then eventually it solidifies. And then we don't have to make any special efforts, but just have faith that this is the right process and this will lead us to the right destination. And hearing, we don't need to make any special effort. We can just keep on hearing. Like in the beginning, we used to do chanting and it used to be kind of mechanical, but slowly we start getting taste. And then we like to do it in isolation with full concentration. And that's the improvement which comes automatically. So the same process will be applicable for hearing. Keep hearing, and at the same time, if you get time, you read also. That will help, probably. Yeah. I hope it satisfies you. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय।